Hello Stampers, it's Amy with Stampin' Magic. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I have for you a super simple card that's using the lovely Dandelion Wishes stamp set, and that's this one here. It's a really lovely stamp set and it's got some fab sentiments for you to use. And it just makes creating a nice card super simple. So we're going to be using this today and we're going to be making this one here. So like I said, super simple, relatively quick to do. I don't know how well you can see, but we've got a little bit of two-tone effect going on here. And I'm going to show you how to make this now. So let's get started. First off, you're going to need a C6 side card base, and it would normally be a top folding. We're going to turn on its side to create a short side folding card. You're going to need some fresh fig cardstock, and the measurements for these will be on my blog, which is in the description bar below for you. And you're going to need some smooth whisper white to stamp on. For inks, we're going to be using Bermuda Bay, Pear Pizzazz and Fresh Fig. You're also going to be needing some clear faceted gems. These also come in gold, but I want to use the clear ones today. And I've got some white baker's twine here. And the other thing you're going to want is a sponge dabber or a piece of sponge or something to put your two-tone effect on if you want to do the two-tone effect. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to be stamping on the base of the card. For that, I'm going to use Bermuda Bay and this stamp here, and I'm just going to go around the edges. So inking that up. Just on the edges there. You only see a small amount of it. Okay, and on the bottom. I'm kind of alternating between the top ones and the bottom ones here, just so you can see on this card different parts of it. And that, and the same for the top. Okay, so we're done with that, so I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to bring in the Smooth Whisper White, and I've got my Bermuda Bay here, and I'm going to also bring in some Pear Pizzazz, and we're going to use our larger image. Okay, so we're going to need our sponge dabber for this. So you can take your ink like this and dab it on, and that will transfer the ink. Majority of this is going to be in Bermuda Bay, so I'm going to stamp it. Sorry, I'm going to ink it in Bermuda Bay first. Use my sponge dabber to take away some of the ink from the centre and wipe that on the side. If you've got enough sponge dabbers to have one for each colour ink pad, then go for it. I'm just going to wipe it off as best I can and go straight into my Pear Pizzazz and apply the Pear Pizzazz onto the kind of centre parts and a little bit coming up the stem. Okay, and that should give you a nice two-tone effect. The first time you do this, you might just want to stamp it off onto your grid paper or onto some scrap paper, just so you can see the actual results, to make sure you're happy with it. Okay, so I am going to go here. So you want to stamp on the right hand side. Just give it a couple of seconds to transfer the ink. And you have a nice kind of two-tone effects going on there. And you can do this in all different colours. Some blue, some really nice contrasting ones like blue and pink would go nice, or blue and yellow. I want to keep it quite subtle here. And we're going to do the same thing to this stamp, but first I want to stamp the sentiment. So bringing in my fresh fig, and I've got this sentiment here, sending well wishes your way. You can use any sentiment for this. You could do happy birthday, you could do thank you. Make sure that's straight. So I'm doing this on the bottom of the left hand side in fresh fig. So that stands out really nicely, it really pops. Okay, so then back to this one, we're going to be inking up parts of this. So I'm going to go Bermuda Bay first, and I'm just going to do the ends where the kind of the flowery bit is, I guess you could say. Okay, and you'll see what I mean once I've stamped it. And for the green, kind of focusing on the stems. It doesn't matter if it kind of goes onto another, it's just a really nice effect that blends in quite well. And this we want kind of above the sentiment, going off to one side. Clean that. So that is what we've got. So you can kind of see it goes from the green to the blue. And you can see it quite well, even though it is subtle, because it's all, the blue is a greeny blue anyway. But I really like how that looks. Okay, so we're done with our inks, so we're going to put them away. And bringing in this, we are going to stick this down to our fresh fig. And we want to leave a nice thin border. Oh, running out of Tombow. Okay, so it's a nice thin border there on fresh fig, and once you pop it against this, you can see it really helps it pop. Whereas if you just put the white layer on here, it wouldn't pop as much. So I thought that was really nice. It's a nice contrast. Okay, so we're going to get some of the baker's twine. And you want to wrap it around a good few times. Normally 3 works well. Ooh, not too tight. Okay, I'm leaving myself enough to do a little knot, or you could do a bow. Actually, for this one I might do a bow, just so it's a little different. She says trying to do a bow. Okay, so I'm going to trim those tails. I'm just going to get a small glue dot just to put under that bow there, just so it stays in place. And I know it's going to stay looking as it should. Okay, so that's the string on there, and you can adjust these if you want them to look a bit more spread out. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. You want to make sure you've got 1 in each corner and at least 1 in the middle. I do like to put on extras on the edges here because I don't like it to dip anywhere. But you can use as many or as few as you like. That's totally your preference. I like mine to be a bit more sturdy. Okay, and then we're going to place that so it's got a nice border again, leaving an even space on all sides. Okay, and we are nearly finished. We're going to get our clear faceted gems, and I'm going to pull off a medium size one and just pop that in the centre there. And two smaller ones in the centres of the others. Okay, so that is our card done for today. It is a really gorgeous set, and like I said, it's really quick and simple to make just a really cute note card, or you can turn it into a birthday card, thank you card. Really love that. I've done one similar using only one ink colour and one cardstock colour. So I did this one using Fresh Fig. Very similar design. We've got another ribbon here instead of our twine, which I absolutely love this. And on here I've done heat embossing. So this is using our white heat emboss powder on Fresh Fig cardstock. And then I did Fresh Fig in this ink for the border. I've done these in all the in colours. I gave them away as my swap for our little team meeting we have. And I did some in the new in colours with thank yous to give out to customers as their thank you card. So really cute, really simple, does not take long to do, and you can get some really, really nice effects with it.